tragedy strikes, accidents happen. Be there when the calls come in. It's back-to-back episodes of Rescue 911. Next on Discovery Health Channel.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911. Fly with the courageous team of Air 5 into a treacherous canyon.
Okay, hold it right there, hold it right there.
On a perilous rescue.
Slid off the tree and went head first right over the cliff.
In Los Angeles, not all sheriffs have the job of fighting crime. This story is not a recreation, but a ride along with the men of the Air 5.
Q5 out of Barley with 79s, had a head injury.
Affirmative, occurring 263 has a possible broken arm.
It looks just like kind of a lightweight cliffhanger. I don't know if he's injured or not.
Rehab burn victim, overheated radiator, burned his face.
Okay, Damien, whenever you're ready.
Takeoff's good.
Stationed just a few miles above downtown Los Angeles, Air 5 is the LA County Sheriff's elite helicopter rescue unit.
You did some awesome flying yesterday, baby.
Massive rescue helicopters patrol 1,800 square miles of rugged terrain in the steep and rocky San Gabriel Mountains.
Normally in law enforcement, you are not thought of as the good guy. But in this line of work, we are.
Each year, on an average, we airlift anywhere from 600 to 700 people out of these mountains.
Male adult cyclist injury. We got about a 30-second ETA. We just came out of the foothills just above them.
Air 5 is on scene.
Our primary objective is to get the paramedics to the victim. We try to do it the easiest and quickest way possible.
It's a tough job. It's physically demanding.
I need a shower now.
I need a shower. It may sound corny, it may sound high school, but you affect the difference.
Air Rescue Milburn.
On July 1st, Crew Chief Mark Milburn gets a relay from 911 about an injured hiker and launches his crew.
What do we get?
We got a call about noon of a person had a head injury down in Cascade Canyon.
The more serious the injuries to the person, the more serious it becomes in our operation. And that's where our training comes in.
When we continue.
It's going to be a rebuild, guys. We're checking on. We're just reaching the victim. We'll get back here in a few minutes.
Next on Discovery Health Channel. 911. It's the call that saves lives. True stories that one day could help you in an emergency. Rescue 911, coming up next, only on Discovery Health Channel. Ride the razor's edge between life and death with the people who walk it every day. Trauma, Life in the ER, tonight at 7 Eastern, only on Discovery Health Channel.
Air 5 affirmative, squad 11 right down here.
Should be over on your side, Rick.
Yeah, I've got the engine way down at the nature center, way down here.
Yeah, they're probably walking up.
Okay, there we go, right down here.
As the victim's son guides firemen to the scene on foot, Air 5 follows them into the narrow canyon.
Oh, there he is. We got a little cliffhanger. Okay, we got him.
It's going to be a repel, guys. Put your on.
We could see the victim down in a small canyon, pretty tight area. He was actually up on a cliff, a lot of loose dirt around.
We're going to go in that little wash area straight at 3 o'clock.
The paramedics will rappel 100 feet down to the closest possible staging area on the ground.
You're in the canyon, and the blades are 2 or 3 feet from the wall. We'll get as close as we possibly can without increasing the danger.
Steady right, steady right, steady right. I don't want to knock the guy out. Steady right, steady right. Okay, hold it right there, hold it right there, hold it right there.
Okay, don't go any lower on the left side of any trees.
Okay, got one in the doorway, one on the bell. Okay, set guys in the doorway. Number 2 on the bell.
A fair amount of blood at the victim there, too.
Yeah, I'm going to put the doc out, too. Hang on just a second. Hold, stay where you are. Okay, number 3 in the doorway. 3 on the bell. A little bit left. Just go a little bit left, baby. Okay, he's on the ground. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. He'll be unhooking her in a second.
Give me a little altitude, Jake.
Okay. He's on hook. Rope's coming up. You can pull up
Paramedic Jerry Despuez was one of the first on the scene.
We free climbed up to the victim. The surrounding rock was covered with a substantial amount of blood. He'd fallen approximately 75 feet, and he was wedged between two rocks.
As soon as they reach the victim in the steep wash, they check his vital signs. He is then strapped on a belay seat and carefully lowered back down to the staging area for air evac to the nearest trauma center.
The downwash on the helicopter sometimes can cause problems with falling rocks, a lot of dirt being blown around. And the time that they're on the rope, that's where things are the most dangerous for them and the helicopter.
Okay, yeah, all you guys get out of the way back there. Where are you taking them to? What is that?
Let's go a little bit left. A little bit left. Give me a little altitude before you come left. Okay, just a little altitude. That's good. No problem. Power's good. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. You're good. Hold it right there. Okay, hold it up there. Hold it up. Left side's good. 85% forward. Power's good. Okay.
I've been in rescues that lasted 2 days without a helicopter. I would rather deal with the raining rock problem than those protracted rescues any day.
Leaving the other crew members on the ground, Air 5 takes off as soon as the victim is on board. The paramedics are worried by the victim's son's report that their father collapsed before falling over the cliff. It is only a 5-minute flight to the helipad at Huntington Memorial Hospital. Bill Dyer had been on a hike with his sons to celebrate his 49th birthday and his oldest son's 26th. They were spending the day visiting the places that had been special to them when the boys were young.
Do you have any type of heart history? Do you take any kinds of medicines or anything? No. Have you ever passed out before? All right.
End over end, 75 feet, you said? 35 feet.
You can do if you can.
Here's the bag for your cut down to should you decide to do one.
All right. All right, Bill.
He was climbing a place called Cascade Canyon. He was with his son.
Okay.
He got near the summit, stopped for a second. His son said he suddenly just fell forward, face forward, and to the left, almost as though he fainted.
We were maybe 70 feet from the top of the canyon, and I turned around and my dad was leaning against the tree.
He was snoring. I looked down at him. He was asleep.
Like he had passed out.
He just slid off the tree and just went head first right over the cliff.
So I just
couldn't believe it because
I thought he was having a heart attack. I thought he was seriously having a heart attack, and Rob had the good sense to go get the paramedics. I'm just hoping it's nothing really too serious.
He hit some hard falls there.
X-rays and a preliminary examination by the trauma doctor on call show no broken bones.
Okay, we're going to be doing the same thing. Head and belly. Yeah.
Testing will continue.
When we landed at the helipad, he looked up at me and didn't say a word. He had this look in his eye, reached over and grabbed my hand, and just his facial expression, he was saying, thank you. I knew that. I sensed that. He didn't have to say that to me. This person was in a whirl of hurt. The look in his face said, you got me out of there, pal. And it means a lot to me.
After several days of observation and testing, Bill's doctors find nothing seriously wrong with him. His fall was most likely caused by heat exhaustion. He is free to go home with his family.
I don't even remember the fall or anything. I was feeling a little lightheaded. The next thing I knew, suddenly here were all these sheriff's department people, and there was the guy with me, watching. He was very much in control, had taken charge, and knew what he was doing, and it would get done. So he put a lot of trust in me. And it's just nice to have.
Looking back on the birthday, it was the best thing that I could have gotten. It's my father's, life given back to us, that he was still alive to have a birthday in a couple of days.
We all should take first aid and CPR courses every year. By learning basic life-saving techniques, we might be able to save the life of someone we love. This series is dedicated to all the men and women who answer our calls for help and are there when we need them most. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.
Next, step inside the command center where the calls for help are answered and meet the real-life heroes who save lives. Stay tuned for another episode of Rescue 911. Next on Discovery Health Channel. Real life, medicine, miracles.
Mr. Shapiro, step out of the car, please.